Alright, so we are back, and now I'm going to talk about another movie I saw recently, 21 and Over. This was a pretty good movie. As far as like one of my favorite movies, not really. The comedy was so-so, but overall it was a fun way to kill hour and a half, 90 minutes, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's made by the same people who made The Hangover and The Hangover 2. I haven't seen The Hangover or The Hangover 2 yet. They're on my list of things to watch eventually, but as of now, I've not seen them. So I don't know if it's The Hangover with teenagers. From what people have told me, it probably is. But, yeah, so the movie starts out, this guy is going to meet up with his friends. He meets up with the one friend, then the two of them together go to meet up with their friend, Jeff Chang, to celebrate his 21st birthday. Jeff Chang, obviously, by the name, is Asian. So if you follow the Asian stereotypes, they're all going to college to be doctors and all have very strict parents. Like I said, it's a stereotype. Somewhat true, but not always. But, so Jeff Chang has a parent who's overbearing. It kind of goes along the line of, like in Harold and Kumar, when Kumar's dad and his brother were yelling at him about his potential to be a doctor, but he'd rather just get high and whatnot. So, yeah, Jeff Chang's dad is kind of strict, and he set up a interview for an internship or something so Jeff Chang could be a doctor. And he's like, I called in a lot of favors, so don't screw this up, don't disappoint me, be at the interview on time tomorrow. So Jeff Chang's like, I really can't go out with you guys. They talk him into it. He's like, okay, we'll go out, have a couple beers, and then I gotta come back and get some rest. So they go out, and they finish up at one bar. Then Jeff Chang looks over and sees a bar that he's had issues with the bouncer or something for a year or so that he's been at college. So he says, now's my time to rub it in their face. So he goes over there, and they go in and drink some more, leave that one, and they basically bar hop until Jeff Chang passes out. And they said, okay, Jeff Chang's passed out, let's get him back home, get him to bed, he can still get a couple hours sleep, sober up, and, we'll make sure he gets to his interview in the morning. But they look around and they don't recognize anything, and they have no idea where Jeff Chang lives. They had his address, but the guy who had it left it at the apartment when they arrived. You take crap out of your pocket, set it down, and then you forget to pick it back up type of thing. So they go on this mission of trying to find out where Jeff Chang lives. So at one point, Jeff Chang introduced them to a girl that he was in class with or something, and they said, well, let's go find her and ask her where if she knows where he lives. So they don't know where she lives, but they know that she's in a sorority, so they go looking for the sorority area, and they misread the sorority, or they didn't remember the sorority letters that were on her shirt. They remembered most of them, but they misinterpreted one of them. I don't remember my Greek letters off the top of my head, but she was in it's like Sigma, Gamma, and then the last one was like an O with like a line through it vertically. And then they saw one that was like Sigma, Gamma, and then an O with just like a little wavy line in the middle of it. Which I think is Omicron. I'm not sure. But yeah, so they go into the wrong sorority trying to find her. And they take advantage of some girls that are doing initiation and have them basically make out with each other. So once they're found out, the sorority's going to attack them, and they get Jeff Chang out of the sorority and find the right sorority. Girl doesn't know where Jeff Chang lives, but she says, "Go talk to my boyfriend. He's event director or something for the entire campus, so he's got everyone's addresses in his phone." So they go and find him. Turns out he's a guy that they got in a fight with at one of the bars earlier. So he's kind of being a dick, and they get his phone away from him and look it up and find an address for Jeff Chang, and they go over there, and he doesn't live there anymore. It was at like a dorm or something, and now he lives off campus in an apartment. So they have to go, lost track. So they go through, the girl who lives in the dorm says, check with the RA. He might have a forwarding address for him. So they go to look for the RA, but there's a party going on where you have to, they call it a tower of power. There's like 7 or 8 floors to the dorm. And each floor has a drinking challenge that you have to pass to get up to the next level. So they work their way all the way up to the top floor, find out that guy doesn't know where Jeff Chang lives either. So eventually the night goes on. They lose Jeff Chang somewhere. I forget where at this point. But while they're looking for him or trying to find out, Jeff Chang got arrested because he had gotten so wasted that he was out dancing in the street. Well, they left him, while they were doing the Tower of Power thing, they left him with a couple of stoners. They sat him down on a couch and said, "Hey, can you watch our friend?" And the stoners were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll watch him." Then they start fucking with him, writing douchebag on his head and taking his clothes and stuff like that. So Jeff Chang wakes up, starts drinking again, and goes out in the street and gets pulled over by the campus security, whatever. They take him down to the health center. And as they're trying to go down to the health center to find, get Jeff Chang back and get him to his interview, they're cornered by the sorority again. Some stuff happens there. That's basically how they pass the night. They finally get over to the med center, and they break in, trying to get Jeff Chang out because they wanted to hold him for a day or so to evaluate him. They're like, "No, you can't do that. He's got to make his interview." So they break in to get him out. At that point, Jeff Chang kind of comes to, but he's awake. He knows he's got to be to his interview, but he's still drunk. And they get him back to his house, get him cleaned up, and he's ready for his interview. But then he's like, the course of the story, you find out some stuff that Jeff Chang's been having some problems with school and whatnot. So he finally breaks down. He's like, I really don't want to be a doctor. I want to go back to doing the things I like to do and everything. So then there's a moment where he finally stands up to his dad, and his dad's like, you're throwing your life away type of thing. And he's like, just leave. So that's that. And then they agree to meet up at a concert that they all used to go to that they hadn't done in a couple years or whatever. So they're like, yeah, we'll all meet up there. So they meet up there, and the one guy who's kind of the one who didn't grow up out of the group, Jeff Chang tried to grow up, but the other guy was trying to grow up and take college seriously. The other guy was basically a guy who didn't want to grow up. And at the concert, he's like, suddenly he's turned his life around. He's like, yeah, I like being here and everything, but I really got this interview tomorrow. I'm really trying to take my academic career seriously now, so don't let me get too wasted. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll take care of you. And then it cuts to him rushing in, trying to get to this interview that he's got, and he's basically a wreck. And he gets in, and he's like, I apologize for my appearance, blah, blah, blah. This isn't the way I normally look. I'm really trying to take my academic career seriously. And that's kind of the end of the movie. You never really find out what happened to him. I don't know if they're planning to set that up as a sequel. So you find out, what happened in between that point. Overall, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. There were actually a few parts that made me laugh. Not really, busting out loud laughing, but kind of like, type of, a chuckle type of thing, which is more than I can say for a lot of so-called comedies. There were a couple other guys in the theater that were just laughing hysterically at everything. They'd laugh hysterically at the bits that made me chuckle, but then they were like laughing at other stuff that just wasn't even funny. It was kind of stupid, and they're just going crazy, like, like so loud. And it's one reason I don't like seeing stuff at the theater. I'd rather kind of sit home and watch it in the privacy of my own home, and no one else is around. I don't miss story because somebody's talking or something. That's just me though. But because I have viewers that I go and watch these things in the theater to, kind of give my recommendation on things. So, yeah, it was a pretty good movie. The guy who didn't really want to grow up, he's been in other things. I can't think of what he was in. He wasn't. I wouldn't have cast him in that role. He kind of looks like a young Shia LaBeouf, which anyone who knows how I feel about that guy. But throughout the movie, he's trying to. It seems like he's trying to do an impression of Jonah Hill from Superbad. And then his other friend who's kind of straight-laced, he's kind of doing the Michael Cera part from Superbad, I'm trying to be, more than what I actually am type of thing, but, just like his entire delivery and all his jokes are just like really Jonah Hill. He looks like a really, really thin Jonah Hill and, like a young Shia LaBeouf back when he had like the curlier hair and just looked really young and stupid. I can't think of the guy's name. I'm sorry, but look it up. And then look at a picture of him, and then watch him in the movie, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I wasn't really too impressed with him. The rest of the cast was pretty decent. Jeff Chan was funny. The other straight-laced guy, he was decent actor. It was just that. I appreciate what the guy was trying to do in the film. He just came off really awkward, the guy who didn't want to grow up. He kind of took me out of the movie a few points. I'm like, that would have been funnier if it was coming out of Jonah Hill, not someone trying to do an impression of him type of thing. But, so anyway, that's the movie. If you like The Hangover, check it out, because it's done by the same people, and apparently they only know how to make one type of film. If you like Superbad or any other, movie about kids in college goofing off, getting drunk, whatever, you'll probably like it. But, yeah, I would check it out when it comes out on DVD at least, or Netflix it, Amazon it, because Amazon's like, $2-3 to get a digital copy of the movie downloaded, and then you can watch it whenever you want. At least I think that's how it works. I've never used Amazon before. So yeah, if you got options to watch it on any of those, or it comes on cable sometime when you're seeing this, check it out. You might like it. Like I said, it made me laugh, which is very rare for films anymore. If you're not a fan of that type of genre, you probably won't like it. In which case you might want to skip this one, but for the most part, I really should do like a star rating on these things, because I'm always like, if you like it, then you'll like it. If you don't, then you won't. For me personally, I would give it, probably 3.5 stars. Like I said, it's close to being a 4-star, because it actually made me laugh. It was kind of, it was entertaining, had some funny moments, but, like I said, it is something that I've seen before and seen done better, and the Jonah Hill wannabe guy kind of took me out of it. So, yeah, it's a solid movie, so I would normally do like a 3, it's kind of in the middle, but because it was actually able to make me laugh, then it gets that extra half a star, but it's not quite enough to make it a full 4-star. Superbad, when I first saw it, was a 4-star. Well, maybe more of 4.5, because that one actually made me constantly laugh. So yeah, maybe I will start doing a star rating on these. I'm not going to go back and do star ratings on the old ones. Maybe I'll put them in the comments or something, but yeah, that's about it for now. I do got one more movie I'm going to talk about shortly. Like I said, I'm kind of catching up on where I've been slacked on recording these videos after I see movies. The other one's a lot more fresh in my head because I just saw it. I just want to take the time to get these other two out before I got too many more down the road and then didn't remember things about the movies. So yeah, I'm going to cut this here. Not sure when I'll get these up. 21 and Over just opened a week or so ago, so by the time I get this up, it may still be in theater. So if you want to kill a weekend, if you want to kill a couple hours during a weekend or something, I'd check it out if it's still in theater. If not, like I said, DVD, Blu-ray, Netflix, Amazon, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of it for this one. I'll return shortly with the next movie that I saw. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you in a few minutes. Or a couple days, depending on when I can get these uploaded. Anyway.